I love theme parks. I was recently listening to a podcast with Dua Lipa, and she said she doesn't know what epcot is. I'm starting to think me and her might not have a chance. What would we even talk about? She doesn't know what epcot is? Experimental prototype city of tomorrow? That's not a city, it's just a theme park that's a vision for a city? I don't know what I talk about. I can't go 2 hours without talking about epcot. I try explaining it to her. It's like, oh, you go drinking around the world. And she's like, oh, drinking around the world. I actually do that. She goes to Geneva, to Paris, to Berlin. I'm like, no, it's drinking around the world, but in Orlando, Florida. It's much better. It's great. Yeah, I recently went to Universal Studios for the first time this summer. I had never been to the one out here in Hollywood. I grew up in Florida. Finally gave it a chance and lowered my expectations a lot after that visit. The parking garage is tricky. You pay at the meter, at the toll booth, and then they'll either send you to Jurassic parking, which is cool, it's a pun. I like Jurassic Park, you get to see some dinosaurs. Or they'll send you to E.T. parking. I love that, we all do. If you go to the E.T. parking garage, if you walk to the edge, you can see the Bates Motel and the War of the Worlds set and the whole back lot. You get a little bit of a view. But then they also might send you to the Curious George parking garage. Don't fucking put me in the Curious George parking garage. I'm not putting my Nissan Cube there. I'm not parking there. And then I gotta drive all the way up past these pillars with Curious George's face on it. I don't want to do that. It's all Nissan Cubes. That's where they put us. It's Nissan Cubes, it's Kia Cubes, and it's Ford Pintos. I know what they're doing. They're just putting all the shitty cars back there. And then the entire day at the park, I had to just remember with my girlfriend, hey, Curious George 4D, Curious George 4D, Curious George 4D. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, the park it's a lot smaller than the one I'm used to, right? Size matters, let's be honest. It's a lot smaller. It's basically like 4 motion simulators wedged against the side of a mountain. That's what Universal Studios Hollywood is. It's not great. And then they have an escalator down. It's not great. It's not great, but some things are the same. They both have the Jurassic Park ride, variations of it. And I will never go on that ride on either coast. You cannot tempt me. Because that ride combines 2 of my biggest fears. Robot dinosaurs and waterfalls. You cannot get me on that ride. I'm sorry. But you know what they did? That's why we're here. There's no E.T. adventure ride anymore at Universal Studios. Can you believe that? There are Confederate statues still standing in the side. But no E.T. adventure ride at Universal Studios. That's nuts. I'm as liberal as they come, but we start talking about E.T. adventure, and I'm Tucker Carlson. What, we're just gonna forget about our history? We're just gonna tear it down? You bring up the E.T. adventure ride, I'm Steve Bannon, okay? That's awful. Here's my theory. I feel like now we have this new type of movie star that's really buff, they're really jacked, they're doing steroids. If we put E.T. on HGH, they would not have messed with his ride. They would have kept it up. E.T. needs to go to the gym. Have you seen those skinny arms? Hey, I just hope he phones home to Planet Fitness. He's just drinking beer with those kids all day. That's the issue. He doesn't lift anything. He lifts bicycles, but not with his biceps, with his finger.